Well, this is a really interesting point. So Sarah Ferguson has closed down 6 businesses. A lot of them owe money. A lot of them just had £1, for a shareholder. We don't know where she is. We've been trying to find Sarah for a while. She appears to be she's in hiding. And I do have, she should be, if Andrew's going to be questioned, then why isn't Sarah? Because she appears to be implicated in these Epstein files. She's not in the royal bubble anymore. She doesn't live with a royal. She's lost her Duchess of York title. What happens to Sarah?
Well, it's a big question. I agree. I think she is a material witness. I mean, there are more numbers for her in Epstein's Black Book than Andrew. She was regularly staying there until pretty pretty close to his death. She's gone under the radar. Everyone gets focused on Andrew and Epstein, but she, I think, should certainly be questioned.
Sarah Ferguson, I mean, as I say, we haven't seen her for, I think, 2 months, and even that was at the christening for Athena, where we managed to get a picture of her in the back of a car. We haven't seen Andrew since he moved up to Wood Farm. Before, we'd often see them out and about, see Andrew riding. They can hide if they want to, but Sarah has disappeared.
Well, she's been in the Middle East. She's been in Doha. I mean, she's been seen there. I mean, that's clearly where she sees her future. And she's been running around various people there with her begging bowl.
What is her future? Just quickly, Sarah, you two, what do you expect from Sarah in the coming years?
I completely agree with Andrew, and I've been saying it for a long time as well, that she will absolutely be selling herself to the highest bidder in regards for stories. She knows where the bodies are buried, so to speak. She knows where the skeletons are in the closet, and she can absolutely expose them if she wants to, and if she's feeling vulnerable and broke, essentially. I mean, she is almost homeless at this point. She was cut out of, obviously, Royal Lodge. She's no longer there. She can't live with Andrew. She can live with her socially mountaineering daughters because they've got wealthy husbands. That's probably her last bet. But you're right. I think the Middle East is probably where she feels comfy, cozy, almost like a Lindsay Lohan trajectory, where she also went off to Dubai in the Middle East when she just felt like the Western media was giving her hell. So I think that's kind of what's happening there, and it's almost something that you could have predicted 15 years ago.
But the stock is so low after these Epstein files. Would anyone buy her story? Would anyone?
Yes,
she's so discredited?
I think people do buy these stories. I mean, they buy them out of curiosity. I mean, there's always going to be a publisher and a news agency who will buy them. I think the interesting question is, I mean, she sold the house in Belgravia for $4 million just the other day. Even if this is money from a divorce settlement that was meant to go back to the kids, then there is some money there. And so I don't think she's quite on her uppers in the way we think. The interesting question is, why did she sell that house? When the market was going down, this was before the whole scandal broke. What was that all about?
You reminded me before we started filming that you'd not been on this show, I think, for just over a year. But when you did come on, it was about 6 months before your book was published. And you did kind of warn that there would be some really shocking things coming. There will be some huge headlines and massive drama. And I remember kind of saying to you, really, is it going to get that bad? Are you surprised, or are you not shocked in the way that it's turned out for Andrew and Sarah?
No, I named her as my villain of the year for 2025, and I was vilified again for it. But no, I'm gratified that these leaks have backed up all the research that I did. My sources were good. And I think the dial has been shifted. People now, the press are more emboldened to look into the royal family. The bigger questions have been asked by Parliament about their accountability and privilege. And yeah, I feel that we had various people who poured scorn on me when the book came out.
Never, Andrew.
Not you, but others who are now actually leading the charge against the royal family.
Will 2026 get better or worse? Are we still seeing doom for the couple, or what?
It's going to get worse.
It's going to get worse.
We haven't reached rock bottom yet.
OK. I want to speak about a good friend of mine, Russell Myers, the Daily Mirror's royal editor, will be coming on next week, and he's released a book. It's about William and Catherine, but one of the first lines that was serialised over the weekend was he wrote about William had, way back in 2019, said that Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, as we now have to call him, should be taken out of the royal family before the rot set in. Was he ahead of his time?
Totally. I think he totally will. I mean, just even about 6 months ago, those photos at the funeral where he's sort of...
I was there standing outside. It was so
so you saw
unbelievable.
it. So what was that? I mean, you can see that he just... he almost wants to throw up at the sight of Andrew next to him, trying to come onto him and have a photo op. So I agree. I think William was probably onto this very early.
I think he's got to be the person to clean up the mess. That's why he wants it sorted out in Charles's reign. But he's got a much clearer sense of where the monarchy should be going. He's less sentimental in the way that Charles is about the problem. And I think he and Catherine rumbled Andrew. There was never any personal... I mean, they didn't like Andrew. I mean, Andrew was always a joke in the family because of his behaviour. And they could see the reputational damage down the line. And I think if he'd been listened to, a lot of these problems they wouldn't have now. They would have cut him loose at the right time, and he wouldn't have infected the rest of the royal family in the way he has now.
There's a really good point there about William and Catherine seem to have quite a good code, or they seem to have quite a good insight and knowledge and decision making within the royal family, which bodes well for the future. But also in Russell's book, he was talking about how William and Catherine kind of got Meghan early. He was talking about Catherine described Meghan as friendly, albeit erring on the side of somewhat over-friendly with a touch of California about her. And they said that Catherine and Sophie made repeated attempts to assimilate Meghan into royal life, but they weren't responded to. I say we'll speak to Russell next week a little bit more about it, but it gives really good insight into how William and Catherine are acting behind the scenes with other members of the family, troublesome members of the family.
Totally. I mean, you can corroborate those claims with what Meghan said, which was when she tried to hug Kate. When she met her for the first time, Kate sort of was a little bit stiff and didn't quite know what to do. And when you look at those two sides of the story, you can then see that they do match up. And I think that it's interesting that Kate, I think, saw Meghan's kind of internal battle early on and saw exactly what the issues might be, having been there before in her shoes almost. So I think Kate is not given, I'm going to get ripped in the comments for calling her Kate. Catherine is not given enough credit for how she is the force behind William, and I think she really does help him, and they really confide in each other and have this power couple that it will be the force for the royal family in the future. And as Andrew said, I mean, coming out of this, William, I think, will be stronger than ever.
They're vital as well.
Yes,
The pair of them are vital now.